Hi, my name is Peter Schaefer, and today I'll be submitting my video recording for Exam 1. So here's the criteria I saw that I had to cover for this video recording. So, approaching how to disprove a situation, the 4 different kinds of proofs I have to address, 2 examples where one type of proof may be preferred over another, and 1 example where 2 different types of proof are used together. So 4 different kinds of proofs: direct proof, proof by contrapositive, contradiction, and proof by cases. So this is the simplest proof in my opinion, direct proof. So if P then Q, an example I have with the proof below, unfinished but 90%, let n be an integer that is odd. We will show that n squared is also odd. Have n equal 2k plus 1, plug into 2k plus 1 to n squared, and then you get 2 times an integer plus 1. Proof by contrapositive. So this is my favorite proof. If I see an or, it's a clue I'm going to be using proof by contrapositive. So you start with if P then Q, and then you're going to state you're using proof by contrapositive, and then write I want to show if not Q, then not P. So an example is let n be an integer. If n squared is even, then n is even. And I want to show if n is odd, then n squared is odd. And that is an easier proof for me to solve than let n be an integer. If n squared is even, then n is even. Proof by contradiction. So this starts with proof P, and then stating you're using proof by contradiction, and then writing you want to show not P. An example is square root 2 is an irrational number. So the first line I'd write to solve this proof is proof by contradiction. Want to show square root 2 is a rational number. And by proving that not P is false, it proves that our original proof is true. Proof by cases. So I start with the universal statement for all x of P of x, and then I separate the x into different cases, and then prove the individual cases. An example of this is for every integer x, x squared minus x is an even integer. Case 1 being x is even, case 2, x is odd. 2 examples where one type of proof may be preferred over another. So let n be an integer if a squared plus b squared is odd, then a or b is odd. And I would use proof by contrapositive here because I see an or, and it simplifies it. In the next example, for real numbers x and y, if x plus y is irrational, then x is irrational or y is rational. And similar to the example above, I would use proof by contrapositive again because it not only gets rid of the or and changes that to an and, it changes the irrational to rational. And I'd want to show if x is rational and y is rational and x plus y is rational. And one example where 2 different types of proofs are used together and explain why. So proof by cases as the first thing that came to mind. It breaks a proof into 2 different cases, and then you can use direct proof or contrapositive or contradiction to then solve that. Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.